What's up, folks? It is once again your doctor, Dr. Remy LeBeau, and I am here in the X-Lair to help you get through yet another day with the terrible disease that you've been inflicted with, the X-Men statue withdrawal syndrome. I'm here to help you get through yet another day. It's been a difficult time, and I'm sorry that I couldn't be there for you on a more consistent basis, but hopefully today's cure or treatment, as it were, sorry, I cannot cure you, will get you enough of a sound mind to get some actual treatment, because I'm not a doctor and you probably need a real doctor, you cuckoo. All right, well, that's enough silliness. Today, it's been a long time coming, but finally I have been able to put aside some time to give Ms. Betsy Braddock a bit of some attention that she deserves. You guys have probably seen the video that I've done of the Psylocke statue that I had, this exact Psylocke statue that I had painted into her X-Force colors. So you are familiar with her if you don't already have her or haven't already seen her on the net. You are at least familiar with her from my channel, given that video that I shot a while back, quite a while back now, almost a year ago. But now finally I'm going to show you the original statue, the statue released by Bowen Designs maybe like 3 years ago now. It was 3 years ago. It was in 2010. It's actually almost 4 years ago. This is number 33 out of 1200, and it was sculpted digitally by Jason Smith, another great statue sculpted digitally by Jason Smith. I know a lot of people, not a lot of people, some people didn't necessarily love the statue because it was sculpted digitally and have some issues with certain features that the statue has that maybe might have otherwise come out differently had they been sculpted more traditionally, but whatever. It's a beautiful statue. I've always been really happy to have her since I got her, and I haven't let go of her since. I've never reconsidered having her. It's just, there's just a lot to like about this statue. So, I mean, there's no reason for me to question its overall value as like a great representation of Psylocke, because it is. It's a great representation of Psylocke. As a lot of you know, Betsy Braddock has gone through quite a bit of changes throughout the years. She originally started out as, she's the sister of Captain Britain, who is like a British superhero. I think she was introduced in some Captain Britain comics that might not have been printed by Marvel, I think. And later I think they got incorporated into the Marvel universe. And I really have to go back and check, or maybe just read the Wikipedia page about like sort of the early appearances of Betsy. But nonetheless, she was revealed to be a mutant at some point. She's got the ability to manifest her psychic power physically, as is represented here by her psychic knife, the pink psychic knife that she is famous for using in a variety of situations. And she's also psychic. So she's got quite a bit of mental powers. And on top of that, in the early 90s, she, as part of the X-Men, was fighting, I think, Master Mold, and they were sucked through the Siege Perilous, like some mystical gateway that sort of causes an individual to sort of become the person who they are meant to be at their core, who they are at their core. And she came out the other side as like this Japanese ninja warrior, or Japanese samurai warrior. And so she completely changed form essentially then, and has had sort of this look ever since. Her costume has changed a bit throughout the years, but kind of always staying within the overall sort of look that you're seeing here. So this is really like an iconic representation of Psylocke. She was not featured in the X-Men cartoon in the 90s too much, but there was one storyline I think it was like the last season of the show, or maybe it was the fourth season. They had like a crossover. It was called Beyond Space and Time or something. I think I'm totally wrong about that. But Apocalypse was like trying to undo time or something, and he was kidnapping all the psychics throughout the universe, and he needed them in order to like stop time and then reconstruct time in his own image. And she was actually introduced in that story arc, and she actually had a fairly prominent role for at least an episode. And she, I believe, was represented in this costume. But later, I think in later versions, in other cartoons that she's popped up in, like she's been a little bit more covered up. I think that was probably partly why she wasn't originally in the cartoon, because, I mean, you have this woman who's running around basically in a one-piece bathing suit, skin tight. I don't know. It just kind of seems a little bit objectifying of a woman, in a sense, sort of, over sexualizing a character. And I could see why that would be problematic on the creative side, to sort of want to push that on media beyond the comics. I'm gonna say that in the X-Force movie that's gonna come out, that apparently is being planned right now, in which I'm pretty sure Betsy's going to be a character in, Psylocke's going to be a character in, she will not be wearing the one-piece bathing suit. It'll be more of a sort of an assassin ninja look that she'll have, and it'll be more consistent with whatever the team look is going to be, hopefully. I'm speculating completely here, but I'm pretty sure that we're not going to be seeing Psylocke in this costume in the movie. That I can say for sure. But nonetheless, this is an iconic look for her, and I think Bowen Designs did a really nice job of representing her in this costume from top to bottom. I love the glossy choice that they made for the paint for the blue elements of the costume. I think they make those elements stand out really nicely, and it's just, classic Bowen Designs product, sort of aesthetic enhancements that they choose to include in their statues, like really kind of thinking about like every element of the costume, and then thinking outside of the box in terms of like, what the costume should look like. Because I mean, if you would imagine like Betsy in real life wearing this costume, it would probably be more like a cloth type of material, like maybe cotton or something stretchy, but not necessarily glossy like leather or vinyl. But as far as just being represented in a statue, I think it looks really nice. It's a really nice choice, and you can see like the light shines off of it very nicely. So kudos to Bowen for doing that. They did a really nice job with the sword. She's got an X on the handle there, which is really lovely. If you want to check out some close-ups of that, you can. There should be a blog post link right here. Hello. And I've got some photos posted there of Betsy, so you can look at the various smaller features. They did a really cool sort of job with the sash that's kind of flowing out. Again, that's another sort of special touch that Bowen decided to add to this statue to make it, more unique and more interesting to look at. Again, just reflective of the fact that they really care about what they're doing when they're representing the characters. They're not just trying to get things done. They're actually thinking, how is the representation of the character going to be most impressive to the collector? And just that flowing sort of sash just really adds like that really dynamic and sort of dramatic quality to this statue, which then, just captures Betsy better and kind of brings her more to life in this, obviously inanimate structure that we buy. Like this painted resin, it actually with like the glossy paint and like the the flowing sash and like the flowing hair as well. It's just like it looks more like just more than just like a sort of like a dead piece of matter that was thrown together. You know, it really looks like Betsy Braddock kind of alive, you know, and in a really sort of just interesting and just better than most companies would represent her way. I guess ultimately is what I'm trying to get at. Like this is a very simple statue. It's just Betsy standing, just basically just being Betsy in this costume, but with the small choices that were made to sort of enhance certain features, including like the translucent resin that was used for her psychic knife, like every little choice that was made about every little element on this statue really brings the statue to life in a way that I don't think most companies are able to do, because they just don't think enough about how they're representing a character in the same way that Bowen Designs does. So again, kudos to Bowen Designs for putting in that extra effort to make these characters come to life in the way that they do, which is what makes me so excited about them, is why I've collected so many of them, and why I am happy to kind of just sit and you know, kind of talk about them for however long on these videos, and just keep doing that, because I mean, there's something really special about these statues. It's not just the fact that they are, you know, just things that are produced representing some characters that I like. It's like, no, they are special representations of the characters. This is a very special representation of Betsy. I love it. I love it. And in case I wasn't clear enough, I like this statue quite a lot. Quite a lot. There is a there's a variant of this statue coming out that's going to be very similar to the X-Force statue that I already have, the one that I got repainted, which is just one of these statues that I sent to a customizer to have repainted in her X-Force colors. So for those of you that are interested in this statue but don't want to pay the small markup in the aftermarket, there is a new release of this statue coming out. Right now it's March of 2014. It should be coming out in the next month or two. So look for that. I'm sure you'll be able to get a reasonable price for her. For those that want this particular statue, I think I've seen her slightly starting to go up in value. She was originally, you know, around $200, but I think I've seen her get up to maybe $300. I don't know. I haven't been checking that regularly, but every now and then I'll look at eBay statues of X-Men. And she'll be on there, and she will. She seems to be going up in value. She seems to be starting to become more rare as time goes forward, which is just the nature of these things. I mean, you have a limited run. There's 1,200 of her, and it's a good piece. It's an attractive piece. Demand will eventually outweigh supply. Like, there are enough X-Men fans out there that will want to have this statue, and they will eventually drive the price up. So for those of you that don't have her, I hope you can get her, you know. And if you can't, it's cool. Like, there are other statues out there, but this is definitely one of the better representations of Betsy Braddock, as she was represented in the 90s throughout the Jim Lee era, which is one of sort of the more popular eras of the X-Men as far as like the designs go, because Jim Lee is a master and he did a great job redesigning Psylocke, I think. I know a lot of people disagree and don't like Jim Lee and don't like the look of the X-Men during this period, but hey, different folks, different strokes. Anyway, love this statue. I'm glad I was able to share her with you, and thank you for checking out my video. My YouTube channel is Dr. Remy LeBeau's X-Slayer. If you haven't already subscribed, you have the option to do so. You do not have to do this, but of course you have the option. I also have a blog. It's called X-Men Statues of Future Past.blogspot.com. I post photos of the statues there, so you can look at close-ups of the various features of the statues that you're not able to see in the video, because I am not I don't want to complicate these videos to the point where I'm editing and I really dislike sloppy sort of camera work. It's just a pet peeve of mine. Everybody has a right to do whatever they want in their videos, but for me, I would prefer to have like a stationary shot and just leave it at that. So if you want close-ups of various elements of the statues, check out my blog. Each statue that I have a video of, I have photos posted there, and you should be able to get close-ups of the elements that you're more curious about. Again, thank you for stopping by, and as always, I want to emphasize that you should put an X in the box because ain't nobody checking me, folks. That's right. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.